Forgotten Girl again. I tried out a new hairstyle. Okay, Forgotten Girl. Oh. That can't be good. So now, where am I? I know I'm not on chapter 6. I'm on chapter 9, right? I'm not on chapter 11. Chapter 9. Okay, here I am. Let's go. How are you feeling? Mama asked about what the principal and I discussed. Iris shrugged. It bothered her, but she didn't feel like anything. She didn't feel like talking about it. It's fine, Iris lied. Are you ready to wrap my hair for me? She reached for her favorite purple scarf. Oh, that's what I meant to ask you. This bonnet is too big for Vincent's head. Can she use your scarf tonight? And you use this bonnet? Iris's mom held up an ugly-looking black bonnet with white and silver flowers. Iris scrunched up her face. Ew, Mama. It's just for one night. We'll have to get her a new one tomorrow. She walked over to Iris, took the scarf from her hand, replacing it with the ugly bonnet, my favorite scarf. As if she read Iris's thoughts, her mama kissed her forehead. She just wants to be like her big sister, sweetie. I'll be right back, and don't let me catch you with that tablet again. You won't, Iris said to her as her mom closed the door, leaving her with a darkness that only the night light cut through. Iris looked at the bonnet again and tossed it in frustration. I guess I could say my prayers or something before Mama comes back, she thought. She closed her eyes and folded her hands. She opened one eye. She felt like somebody was staring at her. There was a tap, tap, tap at her window. She squeezed her eyes shut and kept them closed until she drifted off to sleep. Yeah, there's a window right there. Iris's eyes popped open. She'd heard something. What was that? She stared straight at the ceiling, realizing she'd fallen asleep praying and rolled over. Was she still asleep and dreaming? The door cracked in the darkness. Iris tried to sit up, but she couldn't move. Oh no, she thought, a nightmare. The witch was riding her back again. Santa told her to never fall asleep on her back. That's how it happens. Iris was trapped, forced to look at whatever scary image her mind would make up. She heard the creak again. Her heart pounded. Mama? Had she come back to help her wrap her hair? She moved her eyes to her bedroom door. It was still closed. A movement in the corner caught her attention. It was her window slowly opening, but nothing but darkness was behind it. What's going on? Iris thought frightenedly. She felt helpless. She tried to will herself to wake up from the dream, but she couldn't escape it. The window slowly slid open more. The darkness behind it threatening to swallow her whole. The overwhelming feeling of someone being in the room with her took over as the darkness had climbed into her bed with her. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say the warning. Please do not watch this video if you are scared easily or if you have nightmares. Let's keep going. Man, I'm trying to pull my sock off with my foot. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it off.
Yeah, Bonnie's one that first hired. She's from Belgium, right?
Oh man. I'm trying to do it with one hand now. Not the easiest thing. There we go.
When did you talk to her today? What did you say?
Where was I? She couldn't see. The nightlight was powerless against the darkness pushing in, reaching for it, swallowing it, and her nightlight flickered, then went out. Iris was in complete darkness.
Bonnie hired her.
She shivered, but she couldn't tell if it was from her fear or how cold her room had gotten all of a sudden. The spirits of the snow, they were finally catching Iris alone and unable to move, feeding off of her fright. They would take her back into the snow with them. Iris wanted to cry, wanted to scream, but she couldn't. Iris. Goosebumps prickled her skin. Cold sweat slid down her forehead, into her hair. Then she saw it, a shimmering gray shadow of a young girl emerging from her window, a deeper darkness sitting where her eyes should be. "Help me," the girl said, her voice too high-pitched. It sounded like one of Vanchant's dolls had come to life. Iris willed her feet to move, her mouth to open, so she could scream for help. But the spirit took her back to the woods. "I'm not here to hurt you," she said, moving soundlessly toward Iris. "I am lost, and you found me. You lay on my grave. Your angel rests where I do. You noticed me." Finally, Iris was able to speak. "Are you?" Her voice cracked. "Are you going to take me away?" The girl smiled, almost as if she could see through Iris's skull to her innermost thoughts. It was an odd smile that moved as slowly as it took over her face, her entire face. "No," Iris rose. "I only want to be your friend." Iris stared at the spirit, fear and confusion frightening, and in her mind she blinked. The spirit twirled in a slow circle, her pink dress floating around her like a mist, her skinny legs bare underneath. She looked young, innocent, even until you saw her eyes. "Iris, I just want to be your friend." And the spirit was gone, but her voice still echoed around the room. "Iris, Iris, do you know what it feels like to be forgotten? Remember me?" The sun came into Iris's room, gray, watery. The sound of a door creaking made Iris bolt up in bed. The window was open, the room covered in a thin layer of frost. "Good morning, Iris." Iris whipped her head around. It was Mama walking through the bedroom door, bringing with her a bright light from the hall and a gust of warmth. All the frost had covered every surface. In an instant, Iris rubbed her eyes. She must have still been half asleep. Oh, Iris, your braids are so fuzzy. Have you been sweating? Mama, Iris said slowly, her heartbeat slowing down, the fear of her last dream disappearing, replaced with annoyance. You forgot to help me wrap my hair last night. She was reminded of the question the spirit asked her last night. Do you know what it feels like to be forgotten? Okay, now you can see me. I'm out of the light now. Mama put a hand to her head. I did, Iris. I'm so sorry. But you had the bonnet. You could have at least put it on yourself. Iris said nothing. When Mama wrapped her hair, she kissed her forehead, talked to her, and told her good night. It was more than just putting on a bonnet. Mama grabbed her hand. Her fingers were warm, where Iris's were cold and clammy. I'm sorry. I won't forget tonight, okay? I can fix your hair a little before we leave for church. It's time to get up. Okay. Iris's mother walked out of the room, the gray morning sky opening up to bright sun rays across the walls. Iris lay there, thinking about her dream last night. How terrified she felt, how cold she felt. These dreams are getting more and more realistic, but at the same time, they weren't making sense. She dreamed about a spirit of the snow that told her she'd wanted to be her friend. It wasn't all what Iris pictured a spirit of the snow would look like. She just looked like a little girl. So I'm going to stop there. But I will be back today. Oh, hey, I'm sorry if you can't see my face because it's all white. And now my hand's all white. Well, okay, I'm gonna try to get out of the sunlight. Maybe I should. There we go.